Do you like to kick back and watch the snowfall? Or perhaps a cozy stroll down a village terrace? Or even perhaps you want to hear the orchestral sounds of metal hitting metal as rallies of men march against one another? If that's you, it's time to call into your Manor Lords for an early preview in the latest medieval city builder. Welcome to Dave's Reviews, where we play games in front of a live audience over on Twitch and then review them for your convenience. Manor Lords is released on your favorite PC stores. It's been solely developed by an indie developer, Slavic Magic, up until recently, when the game entered early access. Manor Lords is the latest city building simulator that just wants you to grab a blanket and a heater whilst you curl up for a cozy night of surviving the winter. Manor Lords personally reminds me of Pharaoh, a city builder set in ancient Egypt. However, Twitch chat was quick to point out that it's probably more inspired by a game called Banished. I haven't played Banished, so you have to let me know which one you think down in the comments. In Manor Lords, you'll build houses, farms, pastures, and industry to grow your city into the most influential in the kingdom, hunt down rebels, and prevent other lords from gaining too much power and opposing your rule. As you provide for your citizens, they'll send word of your approval to others, and your settlement will grow into a bustling village and then a town. To keep your citizens satisfied, you obviously need to water and feed them, just like any good caretaker. But also fulfill their other needs, such as a church or making barrels of ale to stock the local tavern. Happy citizens will be excited to upgrade their dwellings and allow for more wanderers to join your town. They'll even start working on their own lots, raising chickens or goats, starting a small orchard, or contributing to the war effort by making weapons. Manor Lords also includes rotating seasons. This is a key component to watch whilst you plan your city. Make sure you plant your crops early to give them enough time to grow, and make sure to harvest them before winter, else they will wilt and die. Dead crops equals no food for your hangry town. You'll need to shuffle the priorities in your town to ensure a well-stocked and functioning village. Manor Lords is an awesomely cozy and chill game. It includes an amazing soundtrack, and you can just sit and watch your town grow for hours. But if a top-down view isn't immersive enough for you, you can hop down into third-person mode. Walk amongst your people and watch them build up and interact with your town. Some of my favorite moments while streaming this was walking through the village during the snowfall, watching my town get blanketed in white, watching the busy market bustling as food is brought in from the bakery or the hunting dens and then redistributed to the people. Here's what I want to hit on: the early access status of the game. There is definitely some improvements to be made in order for me to give Manor Lords a top mark. There are some game-breaking bugs, such as deers running off the map, causing your food gathering to slow to a crawl, as your villagers must walk forever greater distances to go find them again. There's quite a number of functions that aren't available in the early access release. The skill tree for your town is incomplete, giving you only a few select upgrades to choose from, a lot of which appear to have been duds from the games I've played. There is quite a lot of polish that is missing. For example, whilst in third person mode, not all objects have collision, so you can just walk through a bunch of stuff. None of that compares to the great frustration of trying to allocate space for your houses though. Most buildings in Manor Lords are a set size and snap to a grid. Houses, however, want you to paint a landmass and use buttons to dictate how big each lot of housing should be. I really don't like this. It's irritating having to redraw lots over and over again because they were either too big or too small. They didn't have a backyard, so they couldn't have a trade. It's my number one pet peeve of this game, and I really wish the houses could be set sizes like the rest of the buildings. I've one last frustration before finishing off with some higher notes. I dislike that there is a specific path forward whilst playing. I found over multiple games, and having you assist me and give me advice during the streams, that whilst generally you have a bit of freedom with your town design, there is definitely a single meta that requires you to play very similar each time. The biggest strategy of these is to attack rebels immediately, and always. Otherwise your opponent will gain more influence and you won't be able to climb back. I think games like Pharaoh get around this by having different levels. Each level has unique puzzles that require you to build slightly differently. Manor Lords lacks this, and as a longer game to play, I don't like that each playthrough will be so similar. This is also a problem I encountered with Steamworld Build, where even though it has like 5 scenarios you play, essentially you do the same thing each time. Let's get back into some good news before giving the final verdict. Manor Lords is highly optimized, and I cannot understate this. You can zoom all the way out to the world map, and then all the way back in to see the grass on the fields in a single smooth transition. It will not jitter, and you will not drop frames. It is simply beautiful. Your job as the manor of the town will never be dull. There is so much to do. You'll be continuously reshuffling the resources in your town, planning to sow and harvest your farms, ensuring markets are stocked and are being used, ensuring you have enough of that barley to make some delicious ale. It's really full on. I did run the game at max speed for most of my time playing to accomplish this, so if you want a bit more of a relaxing experience, just slow it down, and you should be able to find your happy medium. If you want to add some personality to your town, you can also rename your villages, which was great fun as I sent my Twitch viewers into battle and we mourned over who didn't return. Manor Lords was built by a single developer for so many years, but one of the benefits of going into early access was that now there is an active team working to deliver the best game they can. There is an active community Discord where the devs constantly seek player feedback and opinions for ongoing patches. There is also some very talented community members posting their coat of arms creations. Having said that, I think all of us as gamers should be wary of early access games, as many end up disappointing us as we pay top dollar to be beta testers. And Manor Lords is asking top dollar. This is probably the most expensive early access game I have played, sitting at $60 on Steam. To rate this game in its current state, $60 is a very steep price. I do think Manor Lords is in a solid, playable state, even with the bugs and missing features. You can easily get in the tens of hours of enjoyable playtime here. If you've played city builders in the past and enjoy these kind of simulation games, or if you were just tipping your toe into the genre, I would absolutely recommend you check it out if you have Xbox Game Pass. On Steam, maybe wait for a sale. If it drops to the $30 to $40 mark, in line with other early access games I've played, maybe then you should get it. But $60 is a hard sell for me. Manor Lords is going to get a solid 6.5 out of 10, with high hopes that it will grow to an 8 with a full release. We originally played this game live over on Twitch, and we were able to gather immediate feedback from you, our community. If you would like to participate in this conversation, come on over. There will be a link to the stream and the game in the description below. If this review helped answer your burning questions about Manor Lords, please like the video as it helps us out quite a bit. And if you want to see our next review, hit the subscribe button so you get notified when it's out.